Well, hello, gentlemen. It's Arica Angelo, welcoming you to my live Q&A in my lingerie. And I'm coming to you from my bedroom. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm in my bedroom right now. I'm in my bed. Because apparently, I don't know if you guys have noticed on the last live Q&As that my internet has just clicked out in the middle of me doing these. And I don't have all my AirPod Pros. 1 second. Just kidding. They're right here. I found them. Yeah, so apparently the internet in my hear those motorbikes? The internet in my bedroom is stronger. Let's see if this connects. Did it connect? Did it connect? Not yet. No, it's connecting to my cell phone. Let's try this again. All right, guys, you are already coming in with your questions, coming in hot with your questions, and I love it because that's the whole point of this. Let's see what you guys have for me. Oh, Hot Rock Nation. That's a cool name. You said, this is the highlight of life. Seeing you, it's a miracle. That is so kind. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. So Demetrius has a question. He says, do women find it annoying or respectful I don't even know why I'm doing this. Here we go. Let's try this again now that I can properly see. I don't want to put my armpit in your face. I'm going to have to find a better way to sit here and do this with you guys. That sounds so erotic. Never mind. Let's just stop there. Do women find it annoying or respectful logic if a man wants a few months for her green light of sex, consent, or they turned off if a man never brings it up? Babe, can you rephrase that question? Because I'm having a hard time understanding that. The way I'm reading it and the way I'm understanding it is I don't know, babe. You're gonna have to re-ask that question because I'm not fully like asking a woman for consent. Like, where are we going with this, babe? Where are we going? Let's re-ask that question. Ninja Wolf says, "What's up, Ninja Wolf?" He says, "Arica, can you tell me a secret about how I can get one of these single women to drool, crave for my love and attention?" So where are you finding these women? Like, that's going to really help me out first and foremost. Where are you finding them? And are you talking about in person? Are we talking about online? Like, give me some clarity around that. But at the end of the day, like Ninja Wolf, one thing that I like to share with you guys, I could prop up my knee. See my little bruise? Did I tell you guys I hurt my knee? I'll have to tell you about that in a little bit. Yeah. One of the things that you want to do is you want to be a man who's interesting. Like, what do you have going on in your life that makes you appealing to women? What's exciting about you? What is it that sets you apart from other men? Because one, you have to understand that for yourself, but also show up doing that, like showing women like, hey, this is what I do with my life so that they are excited to get to know you. But also the other thing is flirting, like going up to a woman and be like, hey, are you beautiful? Are you going out into the world and offering invitations to women? Or are you just hoping that one day they're going to spot you out of a crowd and be like, hey, you, that guy? Because that's not going to happen, boo-boo. No. You got to be off in the land in the land with women, going out, making those introductions, invitations, inviting women out to coffees. Like, that's how you're going to stand out to women, is by the invitations that you make. Yes, baby. Richard Bird says, this is live. Yeah, baby. This is so live. It is so live. Anytime the chat box pops up and you're able to chat, that's how you know it's a live video. What's wop, wop, wop? What does that mean, Mark Young? Yay, Dave. I see you. Hi, Chris. Top of the day to you too, Joe Estes. Ransom Missick. What's up, Erica? Hey, Tyler. What's up, boo-boo? Dan Lindick says, can you do your sexy, sultry voice? You know, I don't know if I really have one, but if I did, I would imagine that it sounds something like this. How are you doing, Erica? I am doing good, baby. Thank you for asking me that. Oh yeah, here's a good question. I love these age questions. Yeah. Joe Bird says, have a question. Does the age definitely matter? I'm 34. She is 50. I personally do not think that age matters. I sometimes personally like older guys because I feel like they have their shit together. They've gone through more life. They have more emotional intelligence if they've done the work. Sometimes some old dudes have not done shit on their emotional development. And you can really tell. You're like, you're 55, but you're 5. Listen, it comes down to, do you guys have things that you can genuinely relate on? Because that's what makes a relationship. Like, do we relate with one another? Do we have fun? Do we have meaningful connection? Do we talk about things that makes the time just disappear? That's the most important thing. If you're insecure about the age, ask why. Like, does she look older? Are you embarrassed to go out with her because you look much younger than her? And ask yourself about that. Like, is that a thing on you where you're feeling insecure in the relationship? And be really honest with yourself. Like, is that a deal breaker for you? Like, are you embarrassed when you go out with her because she does look older? And can you get past that insecurity, or can you not? Like, that's the bigger question. I feel like that's kind of what you're trying to ask, but maybe you're not being very honest with yourself about that. I could be totally wrong, and I'm happy to get some clarity on that. Here is Ransom McKissick. Cool last name, McKissick. You have kiss in your name. Mwah. What is your perspective on age differences in relationships? Do you believe the half your age plus 7 years formula? Well, one, I do not believe in formulas. Here's the thing. I was just talking to someone about this. Like, I have some older guy friends, and I've had guy friends go, I'm 40, I'm 50, and I'm dating this girl in my 20s. And a lot of times I'm like, but can you guys actually relate on life experiences? When you bring her with your friends and your family, can she keep up in the conversations? Or is it just awkward? And a lot of times, here's the thing, like, you have to ask yourself, is it just about the sex? Because at some point, like, sex alone doesn't do it. But am I able to have an actual connection with her? Do I connect with her spiritually? Do I connect with this woman intellectually? Does she bring my life excitement, adventure? Like, is she benefiting my life? Am I benefiting her life? Because if all of those are yeses, then who gives an F? Who gives a rat's ass about age? If there's connection, but I think a lot of guys, like, when I talk to some of my buddies, like, the first thing they say is, she's so young, her body's so young, this sex is good. And I'm like, great. But at the end of the day, your ass is getting old. So, like, is that going to be an issue? Like, when your butt starts hanging and your balls start hanging, like, is that going to be an issue for her? Like, have real conversations around this. But if it's just about, like, sex and her young body, like, also keep in mind that your ass is getting old and your body is aging. And if it's just about the sex, like, how sustainable is that? And could you be missing out on an opportunity with someone that there's a meaningful connection with? Like, I think men have to be honest with themselves and go, what am I really getting out of this? Is it just the sex? And if it is just sex, then slow down on your connecting with her and be very clear, like, I'm really enjoying the sex with you, and keep it real. Okay, so I just skipped around. Demetrius Avenger Ironman. I mean, do women like it better if a man wants for her green light and tries being a friend first, not seeing her as a sexual object? Okay, let's just keep shit real here, because, like, I know there's a lot of Me Too guys, and guys are, like, kind of, like, losing their, like, masculinity as a result, which that's a shame, because we always want men to be men. And I know there's a lot of mixed messages going with that. Here's the thing. You're a man. You're always going to see a woman as a sexual object. Always, always, always. Like, that's never going to go away. It's in your DNA to go, she's hot, she's sexy, I want to have sex with her. That is a normal masculine man reaction. It's If you only think about that and you don't stop to see her for who she is as a person, that's where it becomes convoluted. That's where she feels just that sexual energy, but you're not actually trying to get to know her. Yes, a woman wants to be desired by you sexually. That's healthy. That's normal. That is normal. And when a guy doesn't bring that energy, guess what? The same woman's going to put him in the friend zone. She's going to go after the guy that, yeah, has sexual energy for her, but also has the wherewithal to facilitate connection with her. So listen, if you're just trying to be her friend and you're lying to yourself about how you feel about her sexually, that's going to put your ass in the friend zone real quick. And guess what? She's going to go for the guy who has polarity, who, yes, is her friend, can facilitate connection, but is also very upfront that, like, he digs her, he's into her sexually. Polarity, gentlemen. How do you know a woman is into you over social media? That's a great question. If she's liking all your content, if she's watching your stories, if she's messaging you, those are all very good signs. If she's just watching your stories and she never messages you, maybe she's curious, but it doesn't mean she's necessarily really into you. So, if you see all of these things, like she's liking everything, she's commenting, she follows your stories. That's why I think people should always post stories, because that's when you can find the real creepers, is like who's really into you or who's watching you, is they watch your stories. But at some point, right, I would just encourage you to say, hey, listen, I've noticed you've been following me on social media. I've looked at your stuff. It seems really interesting. We should meet for coffee. We should go out for a drink. Like, don't keep it in the social media realm, because that's really just immature to stay there. Like, at the end of the day, human beings need to be with human beings. You need to connect. Okay. So make sure that you initiate that connection as a man and say, hey, I want to take you out on a date. Maher justice. Ooh, I like that. I love justice. Justice is one of my core values. Is it one of your core values, Maher justice? I love justice. I love movies about justice. Hey, love. Well, hey, love. Women are intimidated by me without ever talking to me. How would I ever approach them if they're intimidated? Ooh, that's a great question, because you know what? Some guys are intimidated. Sorry, this has got to change. I'm going to move this pillow. I'm going to prop this because this is very uncomfortable for me, and I'm not going to be uncomfortable. Ooh, and I'm going to bend that hurt knee. Okay, so that's a great question, because there are some really intimidating guys out there. I have to be honest with you. I was talking to a guy at a co-working station, and I got nervous. I was like, this is what I do for a living. I shouldn't get nervous. But I actually got nervous, and I was like sweating everywhere. And I saw my friends, and I walked up to them. And I was like, look what this guy did to me. He made me nervous. Look at all this sweat on my armpits. And they were like, gross, Arica. So this is what you do when you're an intimidating person, because some people are intimidating. Always smile. When you see these women, smile. If you're always serious, that's going to scare people off. That goes for anyone. When we smile, that is an invitation. So when you see these women, be sure to smile. Also, show your softer side. Like, walk up to them. If it's a woman you're interested, walk up to her and be like, hey, I noticed your pair of shoes today. I like those on you. They look really good. You should wear those more often. Compliment women. Go up and initiate conversation. But be Maher Justice. My thing for you is be the gentle warrior. Like, I always talk about emotional warriors, and I know you guys have like responded. You're like, do a video on emotional warriors. Me and my team are working on that. I'm gonna get one of those out to you. I promise you, because it needs to be done. But the gentle warrior, going up to women, complimenting them, smiling, and listen. If Maher Justice, even if they're intimidated by you, you don't have to be intimidated by them. Why are you not going out and initiating conversations with these women? Why are you not asking them out for a coffee or a date? Okay, so they might be scared of you, but show them your gentle side. Show that side of you that says, hey, girl, I'm interested in you. I dig you, and initiate. Tell me if that helps you out. Someone just said, I'll rub your name, baby. How would you rub my name? Ouch, Arica, you are right. Yeah, I don't even want to tell you guys how I did this, because it's really embarrassing and it's just silly, but I am seeing a doctor So yeah, we're working on that. I haven't worked out in like 3 weeks. Arica doesn't know the song. What song? What are we talking about? Hey, Brandon, what's going on? Oh, Chris Lusser likes my very sexy, sultry voice. Thank you, darling. I am glad that you love it because I should talk like this more often. Striped One says, hey, Arica, love your emotional warrior on here. Oh, babe, thank you so much. Joe Bird, great question or great statement. He says, I've been friends with her for 3 years. We work out together. We walk. I want to date her. She tells me one day at a time. What should I do? That is a great question, babe. You know what? At the end of the day, like you got to take the reins. Like I get what she's saying, one day at a time. But you know, sometimes just making those little subtle moves, like if her hair's in her face, like going, oh, you've got some hair in your face. Or, and I've shared this story, a buddy of mine did this to me. We're still friends, but it switched the game. He's married now. So let's just preface to that. But a buddy of mine was like kind of in the friend zone with me. And the way he kind of came out of that with me, I'll never forget. We were at Trader Joe's and we were going to make dinner together. And so we're at Trader Joe's and we're buying stuff. And he walks up behind me as I'm like looking at fruits. He walks up to me. He leans over my shoulder. He whispers in my ear, hey, Arica, you're looking really good today. And then walked off. And I was like, whoa, like it gave me shivers. And I was like, oh, wow, not so friendly, not a friend zone there. So he kind of like gently came on to me. And so I would say gently start coming on to her by like, you know, moving the hair out of her face, walking up to her, very sultry saying, you know, you look really beautiful today. And I really wanted you to know that. So I think you have to start kind of pushing the envelope. And if she just says absolutely no, then you have to move on, babe. You can't waste your time on this girl. If she's not giving you any incentive, you just got to move on. Richard Bird, are you a therapist? No, you know, and people have talked to me about that. They're like, oh, you should go and get your license. I don't want to get my license, and I'll tell you why. Because once you become a therapist, you have to follow a bunch of rules and regulations on how you advise people. I don't want to do that. A lot of my journey and where a lot of my coaching comes from is through researching this stuff for over 20 years. I've been doing it for 13. I've been researching for a long time just for my own journey of healing myself. But a lot of the stuff that I do is outside of the doctor realm. So like I sometimes will bring spirituality into it. And I don't want to be inhibited by a bunch of box rules that doctors have to follow. I don't want that. I follow a lot of my intuition with my clients, which is what gets them a lot of results. And I don't want to be boxed into any method of coaching. So I get that some people, they respect that, they need that title. And I'm like, then go see a therapist. But I will say this, Richard, I have had people come to me, and I do believe in therapy once. I want to say that I personally had one of the best therapists, I think, in the whole world back in Los Angeles. His name was Dr. High. Best therapist ever. I know some people don't have good experiences. He was phenomenal. He helped me walk through a lot of PTSD with my sister's situation of being hit by a drunk driver. He was phenomenal. I 100% believe in therapists. However, I have had people who have worked with me in my coaching, and they said, what you told me in one session, I did not get answers from my therapist in over 3 months of working with them. So I've been doing this for a long time. I have a bit more of a direct approach, and I seem to get people quicker answers. But I do know that the path of therapy is for you to find the answers for yourself. But sometimes people are in positions where they just need quicker answers sooner. And so that's where coaching comes in. But no, I'm not a therapist, nor will I ever become one, because I never want to be boxed in the methods that I use with coaching. Anti-villain wolf. Hi, Erica. Hope your bruise heals and doesn't hurt. You guys are so sweet. I just freaking love you guys. I can't wait to start doing like live events. That's like in my heart. I really want to do live events around the world because a lot of you guys, you say such sweet things like this. And I'm like, everything inside of me just wants to give you a hug. Do women usually make the first move as they get older and get more confident in who they are as a person? Yes. Yes, because at the end of the day, and women and men, the older that they get, they realize that a lot of the rules that they've been taught are all just bullshit. And they learn through life experience that when they want something, they have to go after it. Also, when you get older, you realize that time is not on your side. Like, every day, like I've talked to so many young guys who have said, I've wasted so much time building my career and I didn't focus on building myself socially and understanding women. And now I'm 30, 40 years old. I have a great career, but I can't get a freaking woman. I'm like a freaking kindergartner, like trying to talk to women. And so when people get older, they realize time's not on their side. And so they seize the moments. Carpe diem, they go after what they want. So yes, women act, and sexually too. I have to say, as women get older, they know their bodies, they've had sexual experience. And so I think that's why some guys like to have sex with older women, is because they know what they want. They know how to please their body. And for some younger guys, that's a fun, enjoyable experience. And they actually get educated in the process. Striped One says, so I'm coming. Oh, where did the comment go? Striped One. Where's your comment? Where's your... Cardi B. I don't know the Cardi B song. I love Cardi B though. Gosh, where did this go? Damn it. I love when MGTOW guys come here. And so it's really, okay, here it is. So I'm coming from an MGTOW male coaching dating stream, and all the alphas say, let women chase you. I agree. But at the same time, that feels like feminine energy. So what's the deal? Listen, I think chasing needs to go both ways, first and foremost. I don't think it's just one side. I do think, however, that men are the penetrators of the earth. Like, men are hunters. It's in your DNA. And I'm like, don't become disassociated with it. Like, that is part of your masculinity, to go after things, to chase, to hunt. Don't lose that sense of masculinity. And like, to me, like, if you're just letting women come to you, like, where are you showing up in your life? Where are you going after what you want? Why are you a victim to life and waiting for life to happen for you? No, be a fucking warrior and go after life. Have the freaking balls and go get what you want. But letting a woman sit around and chase you, like, come on, man, that's freaking gross. Like, if a woman wants to chase you, then yes, let her be that boss. Let her be that powerful woman. Let her be that emotional warrior. And she's going to come after you. She's going to get what she wants. She's coming for you. And that's great. But to sit around and just let women chase you, where is the masculinity in that? There is no masculinity in that. You as a man have desires. You want something, go freaking out and get it. You do it in the workplace. Why would you not do it with women in your life? No, I think that is a pansy way of going about getting what you want. It's like sitting there and going, don't go to your boss for that promotion. Just let it come to you. Oh, come on, man. Then you're going to be underpaid for the next 10 years while the guy who had the balls to go up to the boss and say, look, it's time for a promotion. I've been doing this. Here are my numbers. This is how I benefit the company. Pay me or I'm leaving. Who's going to get the promotion? Who's going to get the money in their bank? Don't get me started. But thank you. That is a very valuable question. And I'm really glad that you asked that. So thank you. Sex, James Burton says, sex alone doesn't do it if you want a relationship. If you want sex, then it's enough. True. It's all asking yourself, like, what the hell do you want? Does age have nothing to do with dating? It depends on the person. Everyone is different. Everybody is different. You know, some people like some older guys like younger women because they make them feel young again, which I'm like, why can't you give that to yourself? Why do you need someone else? But hey, we're all on our different paths. Some women love younger men for the same reason. They make them feel young again. And then some older people don't really care for younger people because they're not as smart. They don't have as much life experience. I can't relate to them. They embarrass me when I bring my friends around and they can't keep up with our conversations. depends on the person. This is an interesting question. Do you believe in soulmate? I do, but I do believe that you can meet, we can meet, I can meet, we can all can meet. I think that you can have several soulmates. I do believe that there is that one person that when you choose to marry them, when you choose to do life with them, that there's something about them that they set your heart, they set your soul on fire, and that's a person that you want to do life with. I do believe that you can have lots of soulmates, but I do believe that there is that one person that can really set your soul on fire. And I do see in a lot of relationships, a lot of people not being in integrity with themselves and dismissing things that they really want just for the sake of being in a relationship. And you can see it on them. And it's like, no matter how much they talk about, it's the right relationship, you can feel it on their energy is not in integrity with that. They're not in alignment with that. You can feel it. But you see those couples and it's like they set each other on fire, and it's like those two just belong together. James Burton says, men, as long as you stay fit and healthy, you'll age like wine. Women don't. That is so not true, James. Where do you find this bullshit? No, that is not true. There are some men who are very fit, but because of genetics, their face get tons of wrinkles and they look really freaking old. Look at Brad Pitt, one of the hottest dudes. And then that dude just started going, and then he got some plastic surgery, started getting the Botox, and then he came right back up. People age. It just happens. It happens. It's skin elasticity. Sometimes your skin loses its collagen. Shit starts to hang. It happens for men and women both alike. I don't know. Like, really, James? Really? Brandon says, what if I walked away from someone who said, I get the wrong idea sometimes over a year ago, almost 2, and they come back, even if I don't even really want to go back. She also said, I love you. You just said it right there. Even if I even don't really want to go back. If you don't want to go back, move on. Just because she's interested in you, you're not obligated to be interested in her. Find the person that you feel is right for you, that you feel like, yeah, this person resonates with me. This other person just strung me along for 2 years, and now they're like, hey, I'm back. And by the way, I love you. Okay, well, I don't feel the same way. So we're not in congruence together. We're not in alignment. So great. I'm glad that 2 years later you figured that out, but I'm not there. I moved on, girl. Move on, Branson. Arica, I love your channel and your honesty. Personally, I'm very jaded towards women, but I don't want to be that way from a former nice guy. Yeah, Bran, I get it. I get it. When women have done you wrong, you want to be jaded. But at the end of the day, this is what my nice guys have to understand, is that you gave your power over to those women. A lot of times we want to be mad at the opposite sex. I've done it. My friends have done it. My clients have done it. I've seen people do it. We always want to get mad at the person, right? We want to get mad at the people who've done us wrong. But at the end of the day, no one can treat you a certain way unless you allow them, unless you permit that behavior. And so the first person that you need to forgive is yourself, because maybe you want to feel soft towards women, but start by feeling soft towards yourself and going, hey, buddy, I'm really sorry that I let these women take advantage of you. Because at the end of the day, you could have said no, and you didn't. And a lot of times the reason why we can't, which I know I talk a lot about this, but I'm a huge believer in trauma work. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of studying on trauma work, just from my own life of healing myself, and then bringing what I've learned and what I've experienced working with healers and therapists and coaches for myself, bringing that for my clients. Is a lot of times when guys are former nice guys, there is some trauma that locks you, that takes your voice away, that you allow people to treat you this way, that you become very boundaryless in your life. And so people treat you this way. But babe, you have the power, and you can build from that. You can start loving women again when you start understanding where you have the power. That's the most important thing for you, my darling. Before you start trying to getting back into the world of women, understand that you have the power. And I would suggest that you really start doing some boundary work. I highly suggest that you do my emotional warrior program. Like I said, a lot of the things that you guys talk about here, I'm like, all of this stuff can get resolved through that emotional warrior program. And I don't have the link up here, and I always have to go and get it. When I'm talking to you guys, I should be more prepared and just have that ready for you. But it's fast, it's easy, and here it goes. Brand, I really encourage you, like, this is a journey of healing for you to go on. Do that program. If you have questions about it, just be sure to message me on, you can go to my website and there's a contact page. Message me and ask me some questions about that. That's a horrible thing to say, Arica. I don't know what you're referring to, Ninja Wolf. Najaran Natarjan says, awesome, bold, beautiful, beyond borders. Can you ensure this on YouTube to listen and to keep her leisurely again and again, not merely live chat, but to keep and listen again and again? Louise says this, me too. I feel very jaded by women. And as a result, I think I'm falling in love with my parakeet. It's a she. Listen, at the end of the day, I get it. I get a lot of men are jaded by women. And ultimately, like, that is, that's why I do what I do with my work, is because, listen, at the end of the day, you're not going to be motivated by women unless you know that you're loved. And so when you guys come to this, to my YouTube channel, like, the most important thing, this is why I finish every video by saying that you guys are loved. Because when we've been hurt, when we've been rejected, ultimately what that says to us is we're unlovable, we don't matter. And when we believe that, when that's a message that we've received from women, that's a message that we have identified with. Oh, I gotta stretch this leg. When that's a message that we keep identifying with, and when that becomes ingrained into our identity and how we see ourselves in the world, yeah, you're not going to be motivated. And so when you come to this channel, it's ultimately my heart for you guys to understand that, know that you are so loved. You are deeply loved. And yes, you've had some bad experiences in your life, but don't let those experiences define your future. Take hold of your life. Get some healing in your heart. Most of the time, we keep attracting the wrong people in our life due to some trauma, due to societal conditioning, things that our parents have taught us. And until we get those healed, until we get those addressed, we'll continue to attract the same people. So the more powerful way for you to respond and to be an emotional warrior is to say, I don't like what life is mirroring back to me. I don't like what it's mirroring back to me. So I want to change me and what's going on inside of me so that I can have different life experiences, so that the women in life, because here's the thing, the women who are showing up in your life are always a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And so that may show you that you don't feel worthy. That may show you that you don't have boundaries. That may show you that you don't have some self-respect. Instead of being jaded towards women, focus on how can I build myself up as a man so that I don't continue to have the same experiences over and over. Richard Bird says, I'm a good listener. Listening is very important. Luis says, good tips. Thank you, Erica. You're so welcome. Mr. House Cup. That's a funny name. I like it. What is WAP? You guys keep talking about WAP by Cardi B. Someone put a freaking YouTube link here for me so I can go watch it afterwards. It's probably something I know, but you guys keep talking about, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So Mr. Housecup says, the thing about compliments with women, when you do that, you have to not want anything except to brighten your day. If you want something more than that, she'll sense it. Brighten her day. It's true. Like you want to, listen, yes, sometimes you're going to compliment a girl because you want to get a date. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I always say is, like, when you're giving the compliment, make sure that it's sincere, because if it's not sincere, she's going to feel that. She's going to know it. Women, we have that sixth sense. We pick up on things like this. So yeah, always make sure that the compliments that you're giving her are sincere. But yeah, if you want a date out of it, of course you want a date. She's beautiful. You want to get to know her. But at the end of the day, if she says no to that date, you can't be a horse ass and be like, well, I take that compliment back. Well, then yes, it's not sincere. Like you have to give people compliments for the sake of compliments, but there's nothing wrong with wanting a date in the back end. But don't become an asshole if she rejects you. Like that's on you. Cayman Music says, as an introvert, sometimes I don't why overthink the fact I could be either seem a creep to him, but I don't do anything creepy. Babe, I need some clarity around that. I think you need to rephrase that. Daniel, oh, that's a great question. How do you stop overthinking so much that something is going to go wrong in your relationship when everything seems to be going great? That is such a great question. And so I will go to the work of Dr. Brene Brown, who she talks a lot about vulnerability. And she says that actually like when we're constantly overthinking, it's almost like we're bracing ourselves for the worst to happen. And she says it's actually more vulnerable to surrender yourself to the present moment and to enjoy it. Because when we're constantly overthinking, oh, that something bad's going to happen, we're actually not in a vulnerable state. We're not actually living from our heart. We're actually being in a state of fear. And so fear actually creates more fearful situations. But when we're in our hearts and we're coming from a place of love, it does put us in a very vulnerable position because it puts us in the position to be able to receive the good things that life is giving to us. And so, Daniel, what I would encourage you is to come to your present moment. Like breathing really helps us come to the present moment and just observe like what is good in my life right now. Like right now, I'm having this conversation with you guys. I'm looking outside and I'm looking at my beautiful, I forget what the leaves are called, but the massive leaves, I'm like, they're so beautiful. I'm looking at my pool. It's like being in the present going, life is good. Or I could go the opposite direction and go, oh my God, I hope my internet doesn't have a disaster again and break down in the middle of this YouTube live video. I could put all my focus on that. Or I could be like, wow, how lucky am I that for a living, I get to inspire men. I get to love on their hearts. I get to interact with them on this amazing platform called YouTube that lets me talk to men all over the world and champion their hearts. And I get to do it from my beautiful bedroom with my beautiful pool. You see what I'm saying? It's a choice, but we have to be conscious. We have to be present. And sometimes breathing allows us to be there. But just remember, Daniel, that when we're overthinking, we're in a place of fear. And when we're in a place of fear, that becomes a magnet and it brings more harm into our life. But when we're in a place of love, that is also a magnet, a more powerful magnet, and that creates greater experiences. So it's a very vulnerable place to be in, but this is what it means to live from the heart as an emotional warrior. Ooh, Chuck, this is a really good question. Really good question. He says, if a guy is dating his dream woman and messes up, what should he do to win her back? You should talk to me about some coaching, for one, because this is something that I'm really good at doing. Babe, two things. You got to own up to what you did. You got to take full responsibility. I did this, I effed up, and I really hurt your heart, and I'm really sorry about that. And then the second thing that you have to do, and this is why I say this is where it would be helpful to hire a coach like myself. Why? Why are you self-sabotaging? Where is that coming from? Why are you not allowing yourself to be happy? Why are you hurting yourself? Why are you hurting the woman that you love? Like there are some bigger questions there that need to be asked, and only you can answer those within yourself. Cool Hot says, are you coming back to the USA? I am coming back to visit, yes. But right now, Bali is my home. I am planning to come back to the US. I would like to come back for 1 month, but then I will come back to Bali. My dream is to live between Bali and the south of France. So I hope that answers your question. Maher Justice says, yes, laugh, love it. Arica, yes, I enjoy movies about justice. Yes. What's your favorite movie? Mine is The Count of Monte Cristo and also Man on Fire with Denzel Washington. I love justice movies. He says it's hard to smile with a mask on. True. I do compliment at times, but then they become too shy and I feel stuck. Be consistent. If they become shy, be like, girl, I'm not letting you go. Keep complimenting them. And if there's one in particular, don't give up on her. Like, keep pursuing her, because ultimately she's going to go, oh, this isn't just a one-time ordeal. This guy's actually into me. So make sure that even though you're wearing a mask, you can still initiate conversations, but be consistent with your compliments. Just because she's shy, you can pierce through the veil of her shyness. Richard Bird says he's been in mental health for years. I don't know. Do you mean like as a professional or just with challenges? Okay, now it just jumped around. The Count of Monte Cristo is a great book. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up because it's 10 minutes over, but I've really been enjoying this. I've got some really cool videos coming out for you guys. Stay tuned. If you are new here, make sure that you subscribe. And guys, make sure that you sign up for my Emotional Warrior program, because I think that to me, this is like my life's work put in an 8-week course. And so this is something that you get to keep for the rest of your life. Oh, I got to read this comment. Mark Young, I know where you're coming with this. Mark Young says, breathe in that good ass prana, baby. I love that guy, Ralph Smart. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He's like the most positive guy on YouTube. Woo! Breathe in that good ass prana. Yeah, baby. The cat down the road. I love this guy. He is wonderful. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I really love this time. It's one of the highlights of my week to be able to spend this time with you guys, answering your questions, seeing some of the funny shit that you guys say, because you say some funny stuff. And you're super loving. And I'm just so grateful that I get to do this with you guys. I love you so much. Chris says, remember, Arica, you are loved. You are always loved. That feels so good. Thank you, Chris. I love you guys. Remember, you have what it takes. Check out that Emotional Warrior program. And I will see you next week in my live Q&A. And guess what? Apparently, the manager of my property is right. The internet in my bedroom is better. It didn't break up once. I love you guys. See you again soon. Bye. Ciao. Adios. Au revoir.